Time for devlog number 4.
Something I've wanted to work on for a while is character customization. I want the player to be able to customize each of their 5 characters that they can use in the game. So I started by creating this simple name input, making sure it saves in between play sessions. And my character here now has his own name. Then I made a different pair of eyes that the character can use. I drew these sad looking eyes first. If you want to know why I chose to do these eyes, I couldn't tell you. It's just the first thing that came to mind. So I'm rolling with it. Then I made these more dull looking eyes. For now I think I'll make them the default eyes. So every character will start with these eyes and they can change to others. I made a basic UI element that can toggle between all the eyes that you have unlocked so far, which for now is just these two, but soon I'm going to throw unlockables into the mix. So now the player can choose both their name and eyes for each character, and it should save that information. So the next time I enter play mode here, it should get the save data for each character and apply them. And just like that, I've successfully made my character look really sad. Forget that, it was time to implement all this into the game. I gave my character a new pair of eyes in his own name, and then I hit my hotkey to save all that data. And after updating my character card, you can see that I drew Bob and that he's got the eyes that I saved for him before. So basic character customization is officially implemented. So all there is to do now is add more, and refine it a little bit further. Correction, what I need to do first is make sure that the character displays these options when you play them. Now that I did that, I took a step back and tried to look at my character. I'm not sure I'm fully satisfied with this character design, especially after delving into customization options recently, so I'm going to spend a lot of time experimenting with different character looks to see if maybe I can get something that I think is a little bit more suited to the game. Not that this character doesn't work, I just want to see if there's anything better that I can find. So I started with this swole looking frame. It might be the start of something, but it needs a lot of improvements right now. So I gotta do some art stuff, which I don't think I'm very good at, but I'll try. After several hours, I came up with this. I wanted him to still look like an action figure though, something that a kid might play with. And I think he looks alright overall, but maybe not for this kind of game. I don't know if he's any kind of improvement. Lining him up side by side with my other character, and yeah, I think my original character fits the style of the game a little bit better. He at least doesn't stand out as much. I also did a little bit of experimenting with my character from before, seeing how it would look if I removed the joints. And that character looks fine as well, but I feel like he lacks color. Overall, out of these 3 designs, I definitely like my original the best, but I've got one more idea that I'll try and see if it works out. I want to try changing these joints to make them look a little bit better, more like the joints of a robot or an action figure. So I created this new leg and arm design, and I'll try throwing them on the character. And as you can see, it's awful. Not at all how I pictured. These things always work out better in my head. I had no idea I was accidentally creating this spaceman looking thing, but it was worth a try. Now with all the characters lined up side by side, I can say that I think my initial conclusion was right, and my original character probably looks the best out of all of these, at least in terms of how they fit into the game. But it's good that I experimented with this early, that way I know what I'm working with. As for this handsome individual, I might actually want to use him later on for some things, like maybe a new enemy type, or maybe a summon or something. It reminds me of something too, I just can't place my finger on what it is. I wanted to make some more customization items, so I started with this Cyclops eye, I guess, that I think will later serve as an unlockable. Then I really easily just added that to the list of selectable eyes. I quickly made a mouth customization by simply copy and pasting the eye customization that I already had. It follows the exact same logic, so it's pretty easy. And I didn't show it here, but I did get unlocks to work. By default, you shouldn't have any eyes that are marked as unlockable, and you can earn them in different ways through the game. And ideally, you'd unlock them doing different things in the game like achievements or challenges. After that, I started working on this idea I've had for a while of making customizable character stats. Ideally, I'd like the player to have a lot more freedom on how they build their deck, and being able to change the character stats would help a lot with this. So I essentially added a point system where you've got a total number of points and then you can designate each stat to have a certain number of points. It's very basic right now, but it serves the function that I'm going for, and it'll at least give me an idea of what I need to work with and what needs to be changed. I don't even know if this will work, it might fail miserably, or it might be really fun, who knows. I'm hoping for the latter. I also made sure to clamp the minimum values of each stat. This way the player can't accidentally give their guys 0 health or something, or 0 stamina and be unable to move. Gotta protect the player from themselves. And soon enough, I was done with my first version of character customization. Right now you can change their eyes and mouth, and you're only limited to the items you've unlocked so far. You can give them a name and change their stats to go with whatever deck you've built. It'll be interesting to see how these ideas shape up over the course of development. For right now, I'm happy with them being in. And as you can see here, all their stats do actually carry over into the game. So for right now, nothing seems broken. Let's hope it can stay that way. The last thing that I had to do was make sure that this worked for all 5 of your characters. So I essentially just needed to copy all the logic and all the character screens, and make sure that it carried over and saved for each character. The most difficult part about this easily was the stats. I had to figure out how to somehow designate each stat into its own point system, then add all those points to a point total, and then when the game is loaded, delegate the proper amount of points into each stat, and increase them based on the number of points put into them. To put it in simpler terms, I had to count real hard. And that's it for the progress update on this video. It's probably one of the more boring ones because I was just working within the UI, and there was no gameplay or anything involved. But for the next video, it'll be almost entirely gameplay, because I'm finally going to take a shot at making my own AI for this game, which is both exciting and extremely intimidating. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. And if you want to support the game and see more, consider subscribing. Thanks again.